What's happening?
What's up, everybody?
It is Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. We're here online, excited to be in the place, man. Tonight's gonna be real dope. It's gonna be real dope. Gabe is gonna be real dope.
Most definitely.
Look at him smile. Look at him smile. Tonight's gonna be real dope. So yeah, man. Hey, I'm excited. We're in the midst of the new year. Things are going great. Just seeing the favor, momentum of God, and just really excited to be able to be a part of what God's doing. I really believe this is a really, really special time in the kingdom of God, special time in the earth. And I just see, God's hand at work.
Totally agree.
What's been the most amazing thing that you've experienced from God in this in these recent days?
The most incredible thing I've seen.
They can't hear you.
Okay, the most incredible thing I've seen is like really having to put my life back in God's hands to where He's in control of it, like where I can't do everything myself. I'm in a season where I'm learning and it's new things that's coming about, and it's like God is just like, I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna put you around the people that's gonna help you show you.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal, man. I'm excited to see what God's doing, and one of the things I'm really most excited about is seeing people be able to walk in their gifts, walk in their purpose. And everybody's heard me say for years and years and years, my mission, the Spirit of God told me years ago when I was in a denominational church and they was hooping and singing, and I can't hoop or sing, I couldn't and still can't. And so from that day, I was teaching the lesson, man, just like I normally teach now, with my little points and all my illustrations. And this little old lady in our church, she put her finger, she said, "Let me about this mess." And she walked out in the middle of the sermon, man, and my heart was broke.
Why do you think she just couldn't walk out?
I don't know, because she just, just like some folks don't leave your life. They got to leave and throw bricks on the way out.
Exactly.
If you're going to leave it, just leave it. But you got to tell stuff on it. I'm gone. I don't like your mama. No way. You could have left that out.
Exactly.
He's going, So, told a little young preacher's heart up, man. And I went home. I told God, I said, God, I if you want me to preach, I'll do it. But you're going to have to teach me to hoop and teach me to sing. And I heard the Lord say, He said, I haven't called you to do either. He said, I've called you to teach my people how to live.
That's big.
And so that's been 25, 26 years ago.
You seen the lady again?
Nah, she probably going to be the Lord now. She probably in heaven. She don't like the carpet, telling Jesus, let me buy this mess. Let me buy this mess,
Yeah.
And so anyway, with all that being said, my mission is to help people understand how to take this word and use it. You see what I'm saying? One of the things that challenged me the most, thank y'all so much for being on. Hey, you already know I'm asking you to tag at least 3 people, share this video. Jump on in with us, man. Like, tag, and share, because tonight's gonna be real powerful. You're gonna get blessed tonight, and you're gonna bless some other people. But one of the things that really inspired me when I got a passion to preach, I realized growing up, because I grew up in a church family.
Okay.
So church was common for our family, right? The church we grew up in, First Baptist Woodlawn, my great grandfather bought the bell for the church when they first got the first building. So we was literally like the Kennedys in that church.
Most definitely.
Your last name was Trotter. You was somebody.
Yeah.
And so I grew up seeing all my family go to church. All the people I loved, all my just everybody in my environment went to church, but they weren't living. They weren't thriving. It was average. They did okay. They faced the issue. They cried. Came through the issue. God, I thank you. It was like, and I'm seeing all this abundant life in the scripture. I'm seeing Jesus walk in and folks sick and He healed them.
Most definitely.
I'm seeing people with lack and then Jesus gives them provision. I'm seeing all these promises about this exceptional life, and I'm like, we ain't living it.
And you wanted to see it.
I need to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to see it. I'm like,
totally understandable.
Jesus wouldn't talk about it if it wasn't available.
Most definitely.
And so, that really put me on this mission. Like, man, I want to help teach people how to live this, because there's so much power that I believe people are missing simply because they don't know how to properly apply the word. So that's my mission, help people learn how to put this word to practice.
Most definitely. I love that. That's one thing I say about you, because like when certain people preach and it's just all spiritual, it's like, this is not obtainable. Because if they preach it and it's like, well, Jesus did it, and he's just like, well, Jesus was Superman. He was something incredible. I can't meet that standard. I never be able to meet that level. But when you preach and you just like, okay, God promised us we'll be able to do this, and then I'm gonna show you the natural steps on having a game plan on how to get to what God said we can have.
I love it. I love it. No, that's really the step. I think that's the key. Because far too long we've encouraged people and told them about Atlanta. Atlanta's great. Atlanta got, better hot dogs. Atlanta got whatever, whatever. Atlanta's amazing, but they never tell anybody how to get there. So you really torturing me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So listen, already know. Let me check and see. I need to tag a couple of folks. Make sure you're online tonight. Who's on? Who's on? Let me see who's on. Check the chat. Good to see y'all, man. Great to see y'all. Have y'all tagged at least 3 people? Make sure everybody is getting in on this thing tonight, because tonight's gonna be a real big blessing on it. We're gonna talk tonight about doing the right thing, really helping people get to a place of effectiveness over doing the right things. So are y'all on? Now, I need to make sure y'all tagging now, because you don't want to miss this night. What's going on, Wayne?
I shared with a couple of people on Facebook. I think they are. Well, I'm gonna get on. So I'm gonna check for them, see if they show up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So tonight I want to dig into a spin on the Spike Lee movie Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
Talk about that. Let's see. Something that everybody from the 90s, everybody saw. A lot of people saw that movie. And as I was thinking through this today, you and I talked earlier, the reason why I believe a lot of people don't live the victorious life that they should is because they don't do the right things.
Most definitely. I agree. I've been thinking lately, like, discipline and decision making is what shape our lives. And like every time I see I'm at a crossroad where I got to make a decision, I'm like, this one decision could take my life in this direction or could take it in this direction. So yeah, just really knowing how to make the right decisions. Like, and I most definitely know the book, the Word of God, teaches us like how to make decisions in different scenarios. What's right, what's wrong.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
No, that's really the key, because it's not. I think a lot of people have really great intentions. They just don't have good instructions. Really want to do it. Like, nobody wakes up and says, hey, I can't wait to be broke. I can't wait for my relationships to suck. And many times we're following examples of people that we thought knew what they was doing because they was doing it before us.
Yeah, that's a sad that's a slippery slope, because then you'll try to teach that. What if you try to teach that bad knowledge that you got, and then like, okay, all of us are going down the wrong path, like, unfortunately. So
sure. And the issue is we teach it even when we don't know we're teaching it. So I'm not even trying to teach you how to do this, but your observation of me is teaching you.
Would that say that you sometimes get good results by doing it wrong?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I definitely believe so. They say a broke clock is right twice a day.
Twice.
So just because you stayed married 30 years, don't mean you was doing it right.
Most definitely.
Just because y'all bought a house and a car and a Cadillac, don't mean y'all got a great marriage.
Great example.
And just because y'all look great in photos,
exactly,
don't mean you're a good marriage. Yeah. And so that's it. Yeah. We think that because people were doing it first, they know what they're doing.
Most definitely. So when how do you look into it to say, okay, this is not the ideal marriage? I'm just use marriage because you said that this is not the ideal marriage I want. How do I find the ideal marriage to be like, okay, this is what marriage looks like for me?
Ooh, that's loaded. We ain't even in the lesson yet. Listen, this thing is good. We ain't even in the lesson yet. I think that's similar to what you're really talking about is finding mentors. How do you find mentors? I think one of the ways you do that is having a picture of what you believe your end goal should be.
Mm-hmm.
because I believe when I look at a mentor, they should reflect what I expect.
Mm-hmm.
So they should look over their shoulder and see where I am. I should look ahead and see where they are.
Most
So
definitely.
their reflections,
Most definitely.
how they got there. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When they reflect on their life, I went from here to here. That's what I want to do. I changed this. That's what I want to do. I have a success with this. That's what I want to do. And so, with their reflections, should be a picture of what I expect.
Gotcha.
And so, I want to know what I'm supposed to be because I need to see who's already there. I think the other thing too is I need to do more than you. I need to evaluate their fruit from a broad perspective.
Okay.
I give you an example. My wife and I were talking the other day. Um, Tyler, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tagging. Tonight's gonna be big. My wife and I was talking the other day about married couples that we wanted to model our lives after. And so when we first got married, and I said the challenge is we saw one couple, and I love their money
Mm-hmm.
strategy,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't like the way they talk to each other.
Okay.
I saw another couple, and I loved the way they engage each other, but
Mm-hmm.
they weren't driven. I saw another couple, and I'm like, hey, I see that they're passionate, they real romantic, but they don't have spiritual convictions.
Okay.
So I'm like, I need to find somebody either pull a piece from all of them,
Mm-hmm.
or thankfully God led us to our spiritual parents, Apostle Higgin and Dr. Bridget, and they embodied all those things. So when you start talking about how do I find a marriage, I need to either find some particular items, and here's a dope thing too. I could be trying to work on a particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for this season, you're my coach until I fix this.
Got you. Makes sense.
Yep. Yep. That's big. That's big. Listen, let me check the comments. Checking the comments. That's right. Tyler said my guy Gabe is in the building.
Tell him I said, "What's up? What's up, Tyler?"
That's right. So listen, we watching the comments, man. You guys put your comments on. Again, make sure you share this. Tonight's gonna be real powerful. I think it's gonna be some good application for people to get. Let's see what is going on with this. My camera looks a little fuzzy. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. Hold on. Gabe, you
Yes,
talk
sir.
for a minute. I'm gonna try some technical stuff. So
Okay.
you have map.
You want me to go ahead and read the scripture?
Yeah, you read
All
scripture.
right, let's do that. All
This is a big deal. It's really helping people do what we said, do the right thing.
right. Most definitely.
That's key.
Okay, we're going to be reading tonight from Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42. As Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, got something pulled up. Okay. They came to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet, listened to what he taught. But Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, "Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help." But the Lord said to her, "My dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it and will not be taken away from her." That's a powerful scripture.
That's
I
powerful
love it.
scripture.
Yeah, I love that.
That's right. What do you get from? Talk to me. What do you get from?
I get
That's
she
loaded.
tried to get Jesus to chastise her sister for getting the word, for being in the right place at the right time. She like, it's something better that you could be doing. Like,
Absolutely.
the Lord and Savior is in our face, in our home, talking, and we're gonna cook supper right now. Like, this can wait. Like, that's just for me, I'm getting like priorities being in the wrong place. Like,
Absolutely.
how you can't see that some people just miss the moment. Like, okay, we got company, we got to stop. It's like we just gonna use the equivalent of the president being in town. So the president come in my home, and I'm like, I got to stop what I'm doing.
Sure.
Like, if anything, we gonna order takeout or somebody else can do it. If anything. But something else I got from it was They can't. What else I jumped? Something jumped out at me. Let me look back over something that jump out that was good. Top of
I think what also stands out while you're listening reading through that is, and for those of you online, it's a real deal that they needed that Jesus was going to be hungry. You got a couple things to factor in. Maybe, maybe they already knew that Jesus was coming, and Mary, Mary was like, Martha, you knew we should have done this. This could be big. Mary, Jesus coming in, Mary, Martha there. Mary sat at the Lord's feet. Martha was working. Well, it could have been Martha wants Mary to help him, but Mary's like, this was your priority.
Exactly.
So now you want me to make your priority my priority. I got another priority.
Most definitely.
If you'd have told, you see what I'm saying? You knew Jesus was coming. You were supposed to do the fish fry. You forgot to put the cake in the oven. So now you rushing, and now your lack of preparation now it's supposed to make me shift all my priorities.
Most definitely.
That's a big deal. You never know.
It is. And something else is like that's jumping out is simply Jesus never asked for food via the scripture. Like I didn't ask you to cook. You asked me to come to your home. I'm coming, and now I'm finna entertain. He's entertaining, and now we're gonna take over with cooking. Like I'm gonna make this the show. Like, oh, how good. You almost think she was like, I wanted to either impress Jesus or I want to impress the company. And you in the wrong place. Like, I gotta let Jesus steal the show right here. Like, I don't want to say, oh, I had the best bundt cake and I made the best dishes, and you know, like, this ain't my time. I'm gonna let Jesus run the show.
Dude, here's another thing. This is so loaded. Mary, let me check it out. Martha could have assumed that things mattered to Jesus that really didn't matter. In her mind, she could have assumed, all this is speculation, but she could have legitimately, with the right heart, assumed that the things that mattered to her are the things that mattered to Jesus. She really could have assumed that Jesus is going to be upset if we don't have fish. And in her heart, she's trying to do the right thing, because if Jesus in your house, he's hungry, you want to be able to give him something to eat. So all this stuff, Tyler said you should have been did it. I mean, it's just so many different things, and there's no necessarily one way that we just define, because neither one was wrong.
Exactly.
They both did things that add value. It's just, I think that's when it boils down to doing the right thing, because what Martha was doing was not wrong. Exactly. It just wasn't the right thing.
Or the right time.
Because sometimes it's the right thing, and what makes it the wrong thing is it's the wrong time.
Totally agree.
That's loaded.
Out of season, doing the right thing at the wrong time.
It's crazy. I give you a perfect example. Considering people after you've nutted up, after you've acted improperly, is the wrong time. To consider your words, how you're going to talk to somebody, how you want to bring up a difficult issue, it's more effective before I have the conversation, think through it, as opposed to just whatever come out, then try to come back. What I really meant was, tell me what you meant in the beginning. That's the right time. Jim. So a couple points I got. It's loaded text. Couple things stick out. All activity does not hold the same value. They were both doing good things, but Jesus said that what Mary selected was the better thing. All activity does not hold the same. This is loaded for somebody. Number two, busy does not automatically equate to effective.
Yes, totally agree with that. I remember I had a friend of mine that used to always like, that was one of the prayers I pray I have a very busy day. And then I was like, busy is not always good. Busy, I need to be productive. I need to be getting stuff done. And it need to be, I would love to do high value things than just busy. I remember you used to tell me, what you been doing all day? I was like, I've been busy all day. What you doing? Busy doing nothing. Like, that's the worst. Like, busy doing a bunch of nothing. You wore out and you done did a bunch of low value activities when you just reorganize your day and like, what's going to be, that's going to bring me the most benefit. and what I'm doing today. And you need to be able to make that decision. Clearly, Mary couldn't make that decision via the text. Like she felt cooking dinner was more of a priority than hearing the word
Mm-hmm.
or hearing the man of God. Like you didn't welcome them all the way here, and now you gonna put your time and your attention somewhere
Sure.
else. Like it's almost a waste. Like you got a great situation in front of you, and you just mishandled the season.
Mm-hmm.
And we all do it.
We all do it.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is hopefully by the time we finish unpacking this, it will help us consider, am I doing the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's it. Again, people have great intentions,
Mm-hmm.
but don't have great instruction, don't have great strategy. Busy does not automatically equate to effective. Here's another one. Disconnection does not automatically equate to ineffective. That's loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm not hurried and just
Okay.
because I'm not frantic, don't mean I'm not focused.
That's good.
This stuff to think through. And the reason why is Martha assumed that because Mary was not busy, she was not doing, she was no value.
Mm.
And so I had to learn this, and I'm still learning this and reminding myself of this, that that I have the right to disconnect.
Okay.
Because and I give myself, I've been working to give myself work hours. So when I go home, I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I think the pandemic did is, my wife and I've been talking a lot, is it brought all of your life together. So home became home, sleep, recreation, meeting, work, you know what I'm saying? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a lot of people, even though we're moving past pandemic is not over, people have blurred those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so now home feels way more busy because it's no longer our escape from everything else.
That's good. I never looked at it like that, but I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So disconnection does not automatically equate to ineffective. So when people disconnect, we can't say they're not involved. They've learned that's not the right thing right now.
Okay.
Here's a big one. Here's a big one. You can do an exceptional job at incorrect things and your life never increase.
Mm. Read that again, man. Somebody missed that. You can do an exceptional job at the incorrect things and your life never increase. Yeah, that's super dope. That's super dope. Exceptional job at the wrong thing though. So she could have still made an awesome dinner and it's still not weighed and hit to say like
Right.
like do something else. Like you
Absolutely.
yeah, that's wild.
No,
Okay.
it's like perfect example. Class started back for me. A lot of people know I'm back in school,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm taking 3 classes. Well, there's a bunch of classes out there.
Mm-hmm.
I can pull up another course, take the test, get a 100.
Most definitely.
But if it's not part of my major, if it ain't part of my curriculum,
Yeah.
that's just wasted energy.
Yeah.
And so there's people online that you're doing an exceptional, you may be doing an exceptional job at things that really have nothing to do with your overall purpose. And you're doing great. Oh man, this is crazy. We do it in relationships all the time. I paid all the bills. You're doing a great job paying the bills, but you're not attentive.
Mm.
I cook for you every day. Yeah, you cook for me, but you're not supportive. And so you're doing a great job at things, but they're the incorrect things. And our life is not increasing. And I'm not saying those things are not valuable, but I even say, many times people will focus on the things they do well, so they don't focus on things they need to improve on.
Exactly. And when people tell you like, yeah, if they don't pat you on the back for what you're doing well, you take it as an insult. Like, how you not gonna acknowledge this great dinner I done prepared?
Sure.
And I've been cooking all day. Like this, some of my best cooking, and it's just like, okay, yeah, it is good, but you're not paying attention.
Absolutely.
You're not, like, you're not doing what I asked you to do.
Oh yeah.
You're doing very well at something that's lackluster or not. This is not what we need in this season. So, yeah, I totally get that. That's big right there.
You said something that's loaded, and we still ain't even gotten to the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
But you said something that's loaded when it comes to relationships, because we deal in relationships. What it boils down to in that sense is, if we're in a relationship, the way you find out the right thing is by asking certain questions.
Mm-hmm. Not just by doing it wrong and getting
Absolutely.
chastised.
And not just by doing what you think is the right thing.
Yeah.
Because in a relationship, you can be extremely effective at something,
Hmm.
and because it's what you think is most important to me. And so the way I find out what is the right thing is by simply asking what matters to you, what makes you feel loved. When we do we used to do a test called the five love language emotional needs questionnaire, similar to the five love languages.
Hmm.
And acts of service, recreation, all those things. Well, what you have to do is find out what makes your spouse feel loved. And when you find out what makes them feel loved, that's the right thing.
Hmm.
Like if domestic support, helping me out around the house, makes me feel loved,
Hmm.
then you know what floats my boat is for you to help me take these dishes out the dishwasher.
Most definitely.
But I have to ask you what are the things, not you, because not
I'm
you.
following. Yeah.
I have to ask my partner, my spouse, what are the things that make them feel valued, and understand that just because it don't have any value to me, it ain't wrong.
Most definitely. Another thing is too, like, don't stop doing just because they say this is what I want you to do. That doesn't mean I have to stop doing this. Like,
Oh, that's big.
if you've been paying the bills and you enjoying paying the bills, but she needs some time and attention, then add time and attention.
So
Don't
big.
subtract the
So big.
bills. Yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Martha, don't stop cooking. Just don't do a turkey. Do sandwiches.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
don't interrupt. Don't
Right.
interrupt. Like,
Right. I love it.
yeah.
No, that's big. That's big. You can do an exceptional job, and incorrect things in your life never increase. Here's the last one. Here's the last one. This is just loaded. I told you, busy does not always equate to effective. And I just think that's extremely powerful. Helping us understand that just because I'm busy don't mean I'm progressing.
Hmm.
Because again, we can be doing a great job at things that really add no value, or don't add optimal value.
Hmm.
Dinner would add value. It's not optimal value.
Exactly.
You know.
Hmm.
Um, questions. We monitoring the chat. Questions. Oh yeah, this is good. I can't expect others to do the same as me or think the same way I do. Absolutely, absolutely. That's loaded.
Yeah, it is.
That's loaded. Um, so the right things. How do we get to the place of doing the right things? Because the key is not just being busy, but being busy doing the right things. Right. How do I gauge the right things? Um, because the goal is again to not just stay busy but be effective.
Hmm.
In February, I'm gonna start a series called "Let Me Pull Myself Back Together,"
Okay.
helping teach people how to develop boundaries, uh, regain control of their lives, and establish peace in their lives.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people as we get into phase two, January, where I was talking about getting our spiritual disciplines. Uh, February, we're going to start talking about getting our personal lives back together.
Okay.
Part of it is just getting back to a state of control, back to a state of peace, where
Hmm.
folks ain't just all over the place,
Hmm.
running, shaking, moving, and unfulfilled and stressed out.
Gotcha.
I read this, this is crazy. There is an increase in reports of heart conditions
Mm.
in the last year. I believe it is because of added stress and pressure.
I can believe that.
I
Most
don't
definitely.
know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah.
There's been a rash of people talking about heart condition. I believe, personally, I don't know. I'm not going to say this to everybody, but I know part of it is we're not designed to operate under continuous stress and pressure. And the last 3 years have been extremely stressful and pressured. And again, I think many of us have lost the power and the grace of boundaries.
Hmm.
Our schedules are not under control, um, and well, totally reactive.
Hmm.
And you can't stay at a state of this heightened awareness 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Hmm. I noticed something that I was personally doing. Like, I would have a lot of stress under me, and I would be on me, and I would just be fatigued throughout the day
Oh,
because I was doing low value things. And then when I did make time for my priorities, it would it would wear me out. Like it's like
Right.
because I just had my days ordered. Like I could have did a lot less and got more accomplished and wouldn't be so physically wore down just by not prioritizing right. But once you get a system and prioritizing, because that's what I love. Like I love how you preach when you teach the natural components. Like what do I do then if I'm stressed out because I wake up and I don't have a schedule for my day? I'm just waking up and whatever the first call I get or whatever assignment that cross my table, that's what I'm doing. When if I got a calendar and this is my law now, it take away the stress. Like, no, I can't take this call. No, I can't make that meeting because I got a well planned out day and I got to stick to it. Now, sometimes, life happens and you just have to let stuff in, but like sticking to a good schedule helps keep the chaos from just coming into your day.
Loaded. You're my notes. You're my notes. One of the things that the right things to do are the things that are planned.
Most definitely.
How to do the right thing. The right thing is things that are planned. Part of that is, as you talked about, maintaining a calendar so I know where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So I have to, and it's crazy. All of us have to plan our objectives before our objectives create a plan for us. And if you and I don't have a plan for our lives and we don't schedule our lives, we'll chase everything that people say is, check this out, a priority. So I have to do the right things, the things that are a real priority, because everything that calls me is not critical.
Okay. Question.
Talk to me.
How do you determine what's a priority?
Ooh. Big deal. How do you think?
I'm gonna say this. Well, like I say, with me being in what I would call like a new season of my life, my priorities changed.
Okay.
So I'm just going through what's most effective, what I'm gonna get the most gain out of, where can I drop the ball at?
Where can't I drop
Where
the ball?
can I drop the ball? I can't not pick my son up from school today because I'm working. This is mandatory.
Absolutely.
Got to get him picked up. We all know like
Absolutely.
first of the month bills got to be paid. So this is what I do on the first. Then every day I have to pick up Caleb at 3:00. Every day we need to have some form of food cook. We need to cook something. Whether it's takeout, that needs to be a part of the plan. Every day I need to, at least 5 days out of the week, I know I need to work. I need to, I need to steward my business. I need to, honestly, I need to get prayer time in every day. That's mandatory. I need to get a sermon in every day, because just Sunday just ain't enough. Sometimes, never.
Sunday
it's never
Sunday,
enough.
Sunday is never enough.
Yeah, Sunday never gonna be enough. So I gotta prioritize that into my life.
That's a big statement. Sunday is not enough.
Yeah, that's big. Because by the time I leave your sermon on Sunday, I'm fighting on Tuesday. Like I got me a full fed. So, I need to at least replay it or watch a whole sermon or something. But yeah, most definitely like staying in tune. So I know that at 35 years old now, I know that I need to keep some word in me, some kind of way, and I gotta make that a priority at this stage of my life.
Oh, absolutely. You talked about how do I make things a priority? How do I determine what's a real priority? Number one, I'm always going to say my spiritual disciplines are a priority. Off the top. Now, let me say this too. I'm not even as it relates tonight. We're assuming that we're talking to people who have an appreciation for Jesus. So spiritual, we already know the right things to do are our spiritual things. I mean, it's the right thing to do is to pray. Right thing to do is read the word. Right thing to do is to attend church. Right thing to do is be a good steward and be a giver. So all that stuff we're not overlooking.
Gotcha.
So at the top, our spiritual convictions. But then I also have to look at my personal state. You're a father, and as you said, one of your top priorities has to be Caleb, because you're a father.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of your top priorities has to be taking care of him and being financially stable. Other thing too is a top priority is your own personal health.
Right.
So all these things are priorities. Other thing is my purpose. I got to note here. What's one of the things, the right things that are critical to my purpose. For me, reading and studying the Word of God is critical to my purpose.
Facts.
Right? If this is not your purpose, but your vocation, getting quotes. You see what I'm saying? Maintaining equipment, managing your crew, that's critical to to your purpose, to your
Most
vocation.
definitely. Yeah.
And so, and that's a big deal because when people don't have an appreciation for purpose, they ignore the price that it requires.
Hmm. Another question: what if you don't know your purpose?
Ooh, loaded. Several ways you find your purpose. There are several ways. Number one, you find your purpose in what did God say to you? I knew God told me. He told me what my purpose was. I called
Hmm.
you to teach my people how to live.
Hmm.
Everything else I do, all that's a sub-secondary. My primary thing is not even the pastor.
Hmm.
My primary purpose is not the pastor.
Okay.
My primary purpose is to impact people's lives and help them get structured to improve. So that
That's
means
big.
even when I'm doing business coaching, I'm teaching people how to live.
Yeah. That's
You see what I'm
big.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's not just pastoring or
Hmm.
preaching. It's teaching life principles. Number one, what did God say? Number two, your purpose may be because I believe purpose is a discovery. I think people are waiting for like a one word, boom, your purpose is to do this. Well, I think we navigate our way into it. It's like a journey.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know who I am. I'm finding out who I am. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, because this is big. I find my purpose. What did God say? If God didn't say anything, I may find my purpose in what problems move me to action. What problems do I see that I have a burning passion for? That may be my purpose. Uh, Another way I find my purpose is what were my parents' assignment, either finished or unfinished,
Mm.
because purpose translates through family.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, for example, God told Aaron, all of your sons are going to be priests to me. So Aaron's sons didn't have to wonder what their job was going to be. They knew I'm gonna be a priest. I ain't need to go to no carpenter school. I ain't got to go to automotive school. I know my purpose because this is what my father's been walking in.
That's
That
good.
anointing is passed down, and it may be their finished or unfinished purpose
Hmm.
because the devil may have fought them and they never achieved it. And so the area, this is loaded.
Yeah, that's big.
Abraham was never supposed to be the father of faith. His father Terah was supposed to be the father of the faith, and
Mm.
God told Terah to journey to this land, and the Bible said he stopped short. And
Okay.
because
Let's
he
see.
stopped, his son Abraham finished.
Okay.
Had Terah finished, he would have been the father of faith.
Mm.
And so what happens is part of our purpose is to see where our parents attempted but stopped short and
Okay.
grab that baton and run the rest of the race.
Mm.
And a
That's
lot of people
big.
try to avoid their parents because their parents' mishaps. They vilify them as opposed to realizing you're supposed to be the one that triumphs in the area that they lost and bring victory to your bloodline.
Mm. That's big.
Loaded,
That's big. That's real big.
loaded.
Now I got a new priority. That's just
You know what I'm saying?
add to the list. Yeah.
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 What does the enemy drastically oppose me concerning? The thing that the devil fights me the most about may be, my purpose. He don't want me to win. Here's another one. What brings me personal fulfillment? I may find my purpose in the things that bring me personal fulfillment. Now, just because it brings me fulfillment don't mean it's my purpose. Like I love playing basketball. That is not my purpose. Play
Hmm.
today,
Hmm.
put them numbers up too.
What you got about 8 points? What you
Man, I got about 8 points a game. But a
That's
game.
what's up.
Here's the last one. Tell you about this. This is so powerful. One of the ways that I find my purpose is what is the assignment on my spiritual leaders?
Mm.
Killer verse. Acts 16:10 says, after Paul, check this out. After Paul had seen the vision, we got ready at once to leave for Macedonia, concluding that God had called us to preach the gospel to them. So Paul saw the vision, and they said, us got a purpose.
Mm.
They never saw the vision.
Yeah.
Paul saw it.
Yeah.
But because they were connected to him and following in this, whatever your vision is, whatever your purpose is, I'm going to help find my purpose. I'm going to discover mine and either following yours or being a part of yours.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
like
loaded.
that. That's powerful. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That's real powerful.
That's crazy. Comments. David didn't build a temple, his son did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Loaded. So the right thing. That was purpose.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
How do I do the right things? Number one, I need to do the things that are, as you said, a real priority. And people can't define a priority for me. And my priorities change based on my state of life,
Mm-hmm.
based on my condition, based on certain things. that it may change. Um, how much do you find priority? Things that are critical to my purpose. Mm, find priority about the things that bring the most reward.
That's good. Most reward stuff that has a sense of urgency. Um,
Greatest
I would say
payoff.
greatest payoff.
I use basketball again, for example. I played basketball today. I left there, came here. I could have. We was on the winning streak. We could have played two more games,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have been great for me personally. It would have not added value to the people online because they needed a word on how to do the right thing.
Most definitely.
So the priority is what's going to give the greatest payoff: two more winning games or helping somebody restructure their life.
Mhm.
This is a priority for me,
Yeah, yeah.
and it wasn't a priority for the folks I'm playing ball with because they wanted me to stay.
Okay.
And I can't assume that other people appreciate my priorities.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
loaded.
yeah, it is. It is.
So if you're waiting on people to say your priority is a real priority, you may be waiting.
Mhm.
Why don't put your business first?
Yeah.
Because it ain't their business.
And they're gonna talk about you when you drop the ball.
Oh
When
man.
they see Pastor ain't on at 7 o'clock.
Hmm.
They the winning team ain't gonna be talking about it.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Man, listen, this is so dope. I hope y'all sharing this. Miss Gwen, you take the best notes. Megan was on Wayne. That's right. Minnie McKinstry, man, this is so powerful, man. And we're watching your questions. If you got questions, comments, put them in the chat. Make sure we address those. Have all y'all shared? I really hope all y'all shared this. Um, things that are real priority, things that are planned. If you don't have a calendar, you'll never be successful. No, let me say this. I don't think you'll be optimally successful.
Mhm.
Balls will be dropped. Ooh, this is loaded. What are the right things to do? How do I do the right things? I should do the things that I can be proud of.
That's good.
I should do things I can be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I love Shay Taylor. Right? I'm going home to Shay Taylor today. Um, before I get to my house, there could be some what Pierre would say, some young dilly dally
Yeah.
that meet me at my truck,
Yeah.
And ask me, do I want to have a good time? Well, I got two options. I'm gonna do the right thing, go home, Shay, or do the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because quite honestly, this is crazy. The way Shay, First Lady Night Life function, um, we're not together quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
She could have a whole nother life. I could have another whole nother life and no thing. So I could do the wrong thing and probably get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
However, personally, I could not be proud of my decision.
Most definitely.
This turns into an issue of ethics,
Mm-hmm.
ethics and morals. Is this something that I can be proud of? So what are the right things I need to proud? Stuff I can be proud of. I mean, I'd be proud of doing this. If it's something that I don't want people to know I'm doing, I may need to avoid that.
Facts. I'm thinking, I don't know why accountability keep coming up. Like, I may need somebody to help me decipher which is the good decision or doing the right thing. Because
Absolutely.
depending on my circle and who I'm around, it may be a close margin with like, I don't see nothing wrong with this. I
Mm-hmm.
think you should totally do that. And then somebody else will be like, well, I disagree with you. So, having the right people around you, the right circle, the right people to hold you accountable will help you make them decisions.
You have my notes.
I'm stealing.
No,
God
here's my
talking to me
note.
too. Okay.
That's right. That's right. You get all when you put them all in P's, then you really heard the Lord. You heard
Exactly.
half the sermon.
Let me
You heard the
see.
Lord whisper. When you hear him
Yeah.
clearly, all your stuff got the same letter. So you heard the Lord in the whisper.
Yeah.
Still small voice.
Yeah.
I heard him loud and clear.
Loud.
No. What you're really talking about is this is what comes to mind. The right thing is things that have been patterned for me. Things that have been patterned for me. What I'm looking at is I want to do the things that I've seen mentors do.
Okay.
I want to do the things that I've seen people that I have a good pattern for.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's right in line with what you're saying. How do I determine what is the right thing? What is somebody who's winning doing?
Facts.
People that's winning in finances, they have budgets.
All of them.
People that are winning in their health normally don't eat everything in front of them. They go to the gym, they drink water,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Facts.
So if I know where I want to ultimately end up, it's so powerful why gaining a mentor is critical. I believe that everything in life we learn one of two ways, either by mistake or by mentor. And God uses mistakes to teach people who are too proud to submit to a mentor.
Mm.
And so I want to find out, how did my mentor handle that? How you see what I'm saying? What pattern? The Bible says, follow those who through faith and patience have inherited the promises. So I want to look and see somebody who's inherited this promise, and I want to follow their pattern.
That's good. That's good.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I love how you learning that word, man. I got
I've
it.
been hey, I've been around saying that's right.
I
Tyler's
got
talking about community, salty
yeah.
groups. Yes, listen, 21 to 35-year-olds. I gotta throw this at you, man. If you're under the age, if you're between the ages of 21 and 35, salty groups is an incredible opportunity for you to connect with men and women of your age in your particular in your demographic. Help you build a tribe. Um, it's incredible, helping build accountability, helping follow, because I don't believe that all your patterns, I don't believe all your mentors have to be so far ahead. I believe there's a concept of what's called peer mentorship.
Mm.
I got buddies who not my spiritual father, they're not my mentor, but just through our friendship and collaboration, we help all add value to each other in different
Most
elements.
definitely. Most definitely.
And
Just sharpen
when
each other.
sure, iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
Guy was getting ready to do it. I mean, he's doing other stuff. And he was like, I need to buy a building. I'm getting ready to buy a building. I know you got the plug. Give me your guy. Well, I was trying to build something else. Hey, I know you good at that. You put me on game right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's pure mentorship.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
awesome. Yeah.
This is loaded. Uh what's the right things? Doing the right thing is things that push me. I think that's big.
Yeah.
To be able to pull me from my comfort zone.
Yeah. Pull me from my comfort zone, push me into my next level. Um, so that's a priority. What keep you from being fearful in the moments? Like, how do I know this is a push that's taking me out of a comfortable place, or just a push that is so forceful that this can't be right? How do I know I'm making that right decision?
Mm, uh, here's the thing.
Because it's cool to be stretched, but when I'm like, this is a lot. This is a lot at one time. How do you know you're making the right decision?
If I'm being stretched, I don't know it's the right decision.
If I'm being pushed, I feel like I'm being pushed, and it's so uncomfortable that I feel like can't be right.
Hmm, that's a big question. In that kind of scenario, I would go back to what I said. I would definitely um give myself to prayer before I made that decision. Anything that is that fearful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wait for Lord's direction. I would also get counsel from other people that may have experienced something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, before I do this, I'm just, give me your thoughts. Don't tell me what to do, because I'm gonna do what I feel led to do.
Mm-hmm.
But this what's on the plate, and what are your thoughts? Help me think through the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's good.
I'd also reflect on areas that I've done something similar in the past, just as a point of reference. You know,
Okay.
um, I would also think through what is the okay, what are the real motives behind this decision. For example, I have um, I got some financial goals
Mm-hmm.
that I need to meet, that I want to meet, and some of them I'm on track for. most of them I'm on track for. I had a financial person and trying to encourage me to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
The real reason they wanted me to do something else was they trying to meet a quota.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized what you're asking me to do really ain't about me. It's really about you.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
trying to stretch me,
Yeah.
not to make me better, but to meet your quota.
Mm-hmm.
You see
That's
what I'm saying?
big. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's one way. I think that's a very, very loaded question. Because God is going to stretch us. And then I just think I really need to work from God. And I gotta use my faith for it.
Mm-hmm.
I really have to ask if it's something big like that. I'm assuming it's something drastic.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know that I've got a word from God before I do something real big.
Yeah. I agree.
That's big. Questions. We almost done. We almost done. Man, this is great tonight. I love Bible study. I love it. Man, I hope y'all
Me
getting
too.
some. Um, this is a big deal. I didn't learn this until later. What are the right things to do? And you helped me. You brought this back to mind yesterday. How to do the right thing. I should do the things that preserve me. That means things that personally help me maintain my peace, my joy, my hope,
Mm.
my health. We had a meeting scheduled yesterday, and you said I'm going to cancel the gym to make the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And years ago, I'd have been like, "That's right, you need to cancel that gym because
No
this is
doubt.
this church meeting, this God's
Yeah.
meeting." But I have a different priority for self care now. And granted, because of holiday, normally you always hear, but the holiday was Monday, so got thrown off. Thought Monday was Tuesday was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, no big deal. And I'm not saying that you just put gym in front of. Again, that's need a calendar. So you plan your critical stuff, then put your gym on. Like I got
Exactly.
my gym time on my calendar every day from 4 to 6. I'm at the gym. Now,
That's
other
good.
people say, well, I need to meet 4 to 6. No, I've planned my life, and this is a priority for me. I
That's big.
need that time to
Mm-hmm.
decompress and disconnect, and you can't tell me that's not a high value time.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I may decide what you want me to do is more valuable, but you can't decide for me.
Most definitely.
Um, but things that preserve me is things that generate self care. Things that are like it is the things that preserve you. Maybe you need an hour a day to just watch a movie or take a nap
Wind down.
and wind down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you should not be. We should not feel allow people to make us feel guilty for doing things that help us maintain our personal health.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Now I'm gonna tell a quick story
Mhm.
about just a couple weeks ago. It was just like okay. Well, let me see how I want to tell it. Well, okay, I missed a couple services. I like to try to be a regular in service and because I need to hear the word. And it was a couple weeks that I missed. I had a birthday and then Christmas came, then New Year's came. I missed a couple weeks back to back. And I felt bad about it afterwards because I didn't plan. I didn't plan to take off. My body shut down and I
Mhm.
felt like I missed high value things because I was tired. But if I was planning, I would have seen like, okay, I'm getting tired. I know I need to be here. I could have missed more low value things versus missing a bunch of other stuff that I just slept out on. I missed parties, I missed service, I missed, kind of bunch of, I let down a bunch of friends, a bunch of people by just getting tired is fine, but knowing when to shut down and knowing like,
Huge.
okay, I should have put my top priority things ahead of getting some rest. I should have did in another order. I could is lower value things that I could have not did instead of missing some of my high priority stuff.
Dude, it's so powerful. I mean,
Mm,
this whole lesson really is, and I really hope you people us don't devalue the nuggets in this lesson tonight,
mm-hmm,
because all this really doing is helping us to do the right thing.
mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times what we're doing is good things, busy,
Yeah,
grinding
yeah,
at the wrong things.
at the wrong things.
This is
Well,
loaded. I was talking about. I got this new revelation: doing things that preserve me. for years and years we was reading the scripture out of context. When the scripture says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers."
Mm-hmm.
What we taught, and I preached it, was if your soul prospers, you're going to be in health. Well,
Okay.
it's really not what he's saying. When you go back and see that whole context has nothing to do with, there's nowhere else that says in scripture that that's going to validate that. I mean, obviously, when you are at peace, it doesn't make you better. But the real translation of it is John is saying, I wish that you would be in health just like you are in spiritual fervor. The
Mm-hmm.
same level of spiritual vitality you have, I'm praying that you'll have that same level of natural vitality. I'm
Mm-hmm.
praying that you will that you'll prioritize your health and your well-being just like you're prioritizing your spiritual life.
Okay.
And it-
That's big. Yeah.
and it is huge because so many people again prioritize their spiritual life but don't spiritualize their natural health. Don't prioritize their emotional
Natural.
well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And John is saying, no, I want you to prioritize all, and I want you to be focused on being healthy, just like you focus on going to heaven.
I love that.
That's full
Mm-hmm.
life. That's well-rounded life.
Mm-hmm.
And in that is, I got to do things that preserve me, because we realize that our pace may not be healthy. Jesus was the most productive person. I'm going to teach this in February. Most productive person we see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And everywhere he went, he walked. He didn't run. One hurt. He was opposed. He didn't. You don't see him. You only see him stressed out in the Garden of Gethsemane. He had enough time to pray. He had enough time to go to work because he was a carpenter. He had enough
Mm-hmm.
time to spend time with his companions, Peter, James, John. He had time to rest.
Mm-hmm.
He took naps. He had time to go visit his friends. He was just at Mary Martha's house having dinner.
Gonna have his downtime. Yeah.
He had this fully balanced life, and that's what we can get to.
And it seemed like he ain't mind taking, like, just because you know me for this, like you know me for healing. Like sometimes he was like when he healed a woman with the issue of blood, like, I'm not here to heal today.
Right.
You just went out your way and got a blessing, but I'm on track for something else. I'm
Yes.
busy. This is not what I'm doing. Like,
That is so big.
yeah, so but he prioritized his life.
Absolutely. It's
Mhm.
loaded. I just pray this. I pray this that after we hear this, Spirit of God is going to speak to us and minister to us. And we'll just be conscious as we
Mhm.
make a decision, as we're planning our day. Am I doing the right things?
Most definitely.
I think it's gonna change. It's gonna change. It's gonna change people's
Yeah.
lives. Listen, man. I know y'all gotta get at it. I know tonight blessed y'all. It blessed me. I had a ball. Man.
I did too.
Y'all gotta let me know if y'all enjoy Gabe. So let me know if I need to bring him back because can't just be sharing.
Please bring me
Have
back.
to have the right people. Have to have the right people. Listen, man. I know this thing was a blessing. Part of the right thing is you making a spiritual decision. And that spiritual decision is making a decision to connect with Jesus. I believe that's important. I believe it is critical that you and I develop this spiritual fortitude. That's the most important thing we can do. And so I want to give you opportunity tonight, man. If you're not giving life to Jesus, you're not committed to him, not connected to him. I want to pray for you tonight that you do that. I want you to make this decision that